Manchester United take on Borussia Dortmund, the second game of Manchester United's pre-season. The first game of the pre-season tour in China. Absolutely buzzing for this game. A lot stronger opposition than we played against Wigan. Wigan never really offered anything going forward, so the defensive side of Manchester United was pretty much unscathed the whole game. We played two goalkeepers, Johnson and Pereira, and neither goalkeeper was tested in the whole match. We need a bit more of a test as the pre-season goes on, which we're going to get in these two games, difficult games against Borussia Dortmund and Manchester City. I wouldn't expect Jose Mourinho to make too many changes for this game, but it's really from the starting lineup. He could bring two or three different players in from the start, but I would expect some of the same players to be given a chance at getting the likes of Mkhitaryan, and hopefully Eric Bailly can get some more minutes on the pitch, because both players looked very impressive for me in that game, only against Wigan, I admit, but they still both looked pretty impressive in that first 45 minutes. Considering these players haven't played for a while, it's really a chance for these players with the new manager coming in, and there have been a lot of youngsters in and around the team to really put a stake in their claim for a place in the squad for next season. You know, a lot of these players, the likes of Fosu-Mensah and Pereira, probably aren't going to start many Premier League games next season, but if they can really put on a show in the rest of these 3 or 4 games that we've got coming up, they could at least get themselves a place on the substitutes bench for some Premier League games, which will be massive for them. You know, Pereira took his chance well against Wigan in that second half of that game, and that was massive for him. We've seen Rashford take his chance last season, and it's really massive these players take their chance. You know, James Wilson, Januzaj and Memphis Depay all didn't take their chance in that game. You know, Wilkin did take his chance, although it was given to him on a plate in that game. But I've seen in the under-21s, he scored a lot of goals in that game. 7-0 victory, I think it was, against Norwich. I watched that game, he scored 5 goals in that game. So he's a player that he has had a lot of injury problems, but I believe he could actually probably take his chances if given to him. But obviously his chances are going to be limited this season. But with James Wilson, he hasn't taken his chances when they've come. Admittedly, they have been limited under Louis van Gaal, sent him out on loan to Brighton, but he needs to take his chances, because these big clubs like Manchester United will go out, as we've seen with Zlatan Ibrahimovic, and probably another midfielder will come in. So if Fosu-Mensah or Pereira can take their chances, they're going to give themselves a chance in the first team, because that's going to be a lot of competition for places. Even if Bastian Schweinsteiger, who's reportedly could be leaving, it's going to be a lot of competition for places in that midfield. As I said, I don't think he's going to make wholesale changes like sort of 7, 8, 9 changes to the starting lineup. I could be wrong, but I did actually, in fact, get the starting lineup right for the previous game against Wigan, which was amazing considering it could have been any team we put out. I mean, none of the players that played in the Euros will play, so it will be Sam Johnson most likely in goal from the start, unless Pereira starts, who I think is going on to the Olympics, I believe. So Sam Johnson should start in goal. I would expect the back four to pretty much be a similar back four to what we saw before. I can't really see any different from Luke Shaw playing left back, so I'm not really sure where Cameron Borthwick-Jackson is at this moment in time. You see two central defenders could potentially change. It could be Jones and 2-1 Zabi, but I wouldn't mind seeing Blind and Bailly again. That did alright, although Wigan didn't offer a lot going forward. I thought Bailly looked very comfortable on the ball, really good on the ball against Wigan. And, you know, it could be Valencia at right back, but I would like to see Fosu-Mensah given another chance at right back again. Wasn't the best of games from Fosu-Mensah in that game, I didn't think, but he's really got to take his chance at right back, because we could potentially be signing Fabinho, apparently, which will leave us with, well, I'm not sure if Darmian will go if Fabinho comes in, but I don't think Valencia's a right back. He should be playing on the wing. But if we've got Valencia, Darmian, Fosu-Mensah and then Fabinho, I mean, obviously Fosu-Mensah is a central midfielder, but if we sign Pogba as well, it's going to really limit his chances. Probably going to limit his chances to just Europa League and League Cup, which will be a bit disappointing. I think if we do sign Fabinho, then we're going to have to let probably Darmian or Valencia leave the club. Then obviously in midfield, you could see Fosu Mensah going to midfield, but I would like to see Pereira given a start in this game. Carrick started the last game, but Pereira I would love to see start this game. A lot of people have been going on and on about Pereira playing for Manchester United for a long time now, and he didn't get a lot of opportunities last season. Scored that one good free kick against Ipswich in the League Cup, but besides that his game time was limited, which was a shame for him. But it's going to depend this season on whether we've got Carrick, who signed a new contract. Pogba's most likely going to be coming in. We're not too sure yet. You've got Fosu Mensah, you've still got Schneidlin. You've got so many options in midfield. I mean, obviously Wayne Rooney's not going to be a midfielder this season, but it does give us a lot of options. But I wouldn't mind seeing... I mean, if you're going to play Valencia at right back, then I wouldn't mind seeing Fosu Mensah and maybe Pereira in midfield. On the wings, I want to see Memphis given another chance, because this is really crucial these next few games. Didn't take that chance he got against Wigan to score, which was disappointing in the first half. Maybe it was because he wasn't match sharpness, hasn't played for a while, but them sort of chances, he played similar to how he did last season, which was really disappointing. But it is only pre-season. We will have to hope that he can improve, because Martial is going to most likely play on that left-hand side, which is going to limit his chances. Some people want to see him potentially playing on the right-hand side, but I'm not too sure. He can also play in the number 10 role. We did see that sometime on the tour last season, so we'll have to wait and see what happens there. But I would go for Memphis Depay, obviously on one side. I'm not too sure if he's going to probably Lingard on the other hand side, and whoever he's going to play in the number 10 will probably be Mkhitaryan, or Mkhitaryan, however you actually pronounce it. And I would go for Will Keane up front. Scored that goal, the first goal. Obviously, it was given to him on a plate by Jussi Jääskeläinen, passing the ball to Juan Mata. But I would like to see him given a chance. I think he can score goals given the chance. As I say, he scored some goals for the under-21. Scored 5 goals in a game last season against Norwich. I think it was in a 7-0 win. Memphis Depay didn't even score that day, but did have a good game. So I think he can take his chances, because James Wilson hasn't had a lot of chances for Manchester United, but he hasn't taken his chances. You know, these young players have just got to go into the team straight away. I know it's hard. It's very hard for a young player. He's only 20 years of age still, to go into the first team and just take your chances. But we've seen Rashford has done it. We saw the opposite. Rashford took his chance in that Euros. Looked amazing when he actually come on in the few cameo appearances he come on for England. Yet Martial played half a game in the second group game for France and was awful in that game, which then made Deschamps drop him from coming off the bench in any of the remaining games bar the final, which they were already losing 1-0 in the final. So you've really got to take your chance at Manchester United as a young player. But the problem is young players need a game. I can see Will Keane and James Wilson probably going out on loan again this season. You know, the only problem with Will Keane is he's had a lot of injuries. He's about 22, 23 years of age. We will have to wait and see there. I'm not too sure if he's actually going to make it certainly not as a first team player, but maybe still could make it as a backup striker for Manchester United. But I'm not so sure on James Wilson now. I was more confident around a season or so ago. He's got blistering pace, but I'm not too sure he's going to make it. He needs to really start taking his chance. If he does play, he's got to take his chance. Mkhitaryan, on the other hand, will be going back to his old club this week on Friday to play them, so that will be exciting to see. Him obviously played well in that first 45 minutes. That is one thing we're looking forward to. As I say, none of the Euro players will feature in these games. We've been told, certainly the English players. I presume that the likes of Paddy McNair and David De Gea won't play either. Paddy McNair probably could be on his way out, but I don't think they'll play either because they featured in the Euros as well. Zlatan certainly isn't playing and won't feature till the Galatasaray game, so we will have to see, but it will be exciting to see some youngsters. Anyway, let me know your thoughts on the game. I expect Borussia Dortmund will make a whole host of changes. If the likes of Aubameyang, I don't know if Marcus Reus is actually fit. He wasn't fit for Germany in the summer. He will cause us massive problems. And Aubameyang, it will be a chance to see him, one of the most feared strikers in European football, if he plays and see how much he plays. I know obviously a lot of clubs have been interested in him. Let me know your thoughts ahead of the game. What are you most excited to see and everything. Like the video and also subscribe to the channel if you're new. And I will talk to you all again soon. See ya.